Hey guys, so I finished up reading Tag You're Dead by Kathryn Foxfield. So this book starts out with Anton. He is a teenage game designer who's become a millionaire, has a big habit of hosting giant pranks that have kind of made him a social media darling. And at some point during one of his parties, one of his accomplices, which is what he calls his inner circle, ends up dead. The police decide that it was an accidental drug-induced drowning. Everything kind of gets swept under the rug. But Anton kind of, goes into hiding. He's no longer the darling of social media. But it's been about a year, and Anton's ready to make a comeback. So, being the kind of guy he is, he decides to have a huge citywide competition, a game of tag. It's going to be using virtual reality glasses and GPS trackers, etc., and so forth. And whoever wins this is not only going to be the recipient of a £100,000 prize, that's a pound is in English money, not pounds, is also going to take the place of the dearly departed Rose, who was one of everybody's favorites, and become the new accomplice. Not everybody's happy about that, but a lot of people are willing to play a game of tag for 100 grand. Game starts, everything's going pretty smoothly, and all of a sudden, the ghost of Rose takes over the game. Now, you know there's no ghosts. I know there's no ghosts. Some people do believe in ghosts. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Rose has changed the rules of the game, and now to win the game, it's not just tagging everybody out, it's who can figure out who killed her. So the game continues. Some people get knocked out of the game naturally. You get the feeling that whoever is playing Rose is helping the final perpetrators get to the end of the game, because this is her cast of suspects as she reveals as the game goes along. And some people who get a little too close to the truth, they get taken out of the game a little more permanently. So, questions are, who is the ghost of Rose? Who is the person that actually killed Rose? And who among the people that are getting too close to the truth will actually survive to the end? This book, I'm going to go ahead and give it, for Goodreads, I'm going to give it a 4. I'm actually going to put it around a 3.5. So, it's a very solid book, very good. Not quite a book for everyone. It does have a little bit of a YA feel to it. Some of the characters are in their teens, some are in their early 20s, but so it has to have a little bit of that YA feel to it. I feel like this would have been closer to a 4 personally, if it had been just maybe a little bit more dark or maybe a little bit more adult. The other thing I feel like maybe would have helped it a little bit, this book was narrated by Elliot Fitzpatrick and Sasha Higgins, and I know what they were going for, because Patrick, whenever it's the male point of view, he does the narration. When it's a female point of view, it's Sasha's. The downside to that is that they're also having to do the voices of the other characters when those other characters are in the scene. So obviously, Sasha's version of Michael is going to sound a lot different than Elliot's version of Michael. So it was a little bit disjointed for me. Both of them are good narrators in their own right. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the jumping back and forth, because of the fact that, again, she does the voices differently than he does the voices. I feel like if you're going to have a cast of characters do the narration, that you each want them to do specific voices instead of doing specific chapters the way that this came out. So that was a little bit down for me. But I feel like if I read the book instead of listening to it, I might have done it a little higher. 3.5 easy. For Goodreads purposes, it's going to be a 4. I don't really believe in rounding down. So I think you'll enjoy it. Just know that I would probably pick up the book and not the audiobook. Personal opinion, and that you are going to have a few scenes with a few characters that are written to be teenagers, and so you're going to have a little bit more of that angst / drama going on. It's not technically, I think, a YA book. It's very much more of a murder mystery book, but it does have those elements in it. I enjoyed it. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a good one, guys.